Hello there, Eternal Life fans, it's Rowan. Now I'm going to be talking about the virus, the upcoming virus that I feel is coming. Just feel it. There's an energy, it's in the ether, okay? Death is coming, death is upon us. I think there's going to be a virus. So, after all is said and done, when this virus happens, you won't be able to look at me and the Eternal Life fan club and judge me for not warning you. I warned you all, so your blood will be off my hands. Alright, this is like going to be the best things to do for a virus, okay? Well, let's start off. I have a bunch of stuff here. So, if you get a virus, lysine is one thing you want to have. Well, you want to be already preparing your body to enhance your immune system so you don't get a virus. So one of the things that enhances, that will increase your chances of getting a virus is if you have an imbalance of lysine in your body. If you have too much arginine and not enough lysine. A lot of vegans, vegetarians will have too much arginine because they're eating a lot of nuts and seeds and they're not eating higher lysine sources such as cheese. So, but if you're, so you want to have enough lysine, and this will help. People take this if you have like HIV or not HIV. Actually, yeah, but herpes. People take it with herpes to make sure they don't get a flare-up. Something about it. You want to have enough lysine in your body. Next thing is cayenne pepper. Got to have some cayenne pepper on hand for emergencies. This stuff is very powerful, potent. If you breathe it in, it'll make you cough and stuff. But this is going to boost your circulation. So anything you're taking with cayenne pepper is going to be more powerful in your body. It's going to help your body absorb it all. Plus, it just has antiviral properties as is. So you got to have some cayenne pepper on hand. Next powerful thing against viruses is propolis. Propolis is just a little waxy resin that the bees make.
Bee glue, or as we call it, the cement of the hive. This is what we call propolis. This is found in amazing little quantities all around any beehive. Have a look at that, have a feel of that.
Very, very powerful. Very good immune-enhancing thing. Another thing, making a herbal tea against viruses, like Pau D'Arco. Pau D'Arco is one of those herbs, along with olive leaf. This is a good combination if you have a virus, okay? So if the pandemic is beginning, you want to be making a big brew of tea. Pau D'Arco, olive leaf, astragalus is a powerful one, and cat's claw. So what you want to do if a virus starts to come, you want to get all your herbs, your dry herbs in bulk. This was bought from Mountain Rose Herbs. It's a great company. But they need to be hot water extracted. So you need to get all your herbs, throw them in a big pot of water like I have here, and just boil up your herbs. You can see right here I have a tea going on in here. This is cat's claw. It's been sitting overnight. It's very, very antiviral. This stuff tastes really gross, by the way. Cat's claw is very gross tasting, but it's powerful. It's one of the most powerful herbs, and a lot of the most medicinal powerful herbs are going to taste gross. You just can't help it. It's just the way it is. Speaking of herbs, another one you want to add to the mixture is chaga. Chaga tea. This is my own extract I made here. I extracted chaga in vodka. It just extracts a lot of those medicinal components of the chaga. You can also do a hot water extract, but chaga is a mushroom that grows on trees. It dries up. It's this black fungus, but it's very powerful against viruses and other fungus. It's antiviral and antifungal. It's one of the most powerful ones, so you want to have it on hand. Another thing you want to do just ahead of time, you can take this stuff when you actually start to notice that you might be infected with a virus. But just ahead of time, to prepare your immune system and enhance your immune system, you want to be taking iodine and vitamin D3. Both of these are two other powerful ones. Iodine, you're going to get it from seafood, fish and everything. I eat sardines, so I'd be getting some iodine from my sardines. Kelp is a good source of iodine as well, but you can supplement with it if you're not taking any of that stuff. And vitamin D3, we've all heard vitamin D3 for the immune system. It's true. So you don't want to be vitamin D3 deficient if, you know, the next bubonic plague is killing people, okay? So people talked about recently, I heard in an article, that the bubonic plague actually is really more of an ancient virus than people think. A lot of the dangers of viruses we hear are the possibility of a virus mutating and they're going to create a new virus. But we also have to think of just the old viruses that have been around for a long time, just dormant, just waiting to come out and start killing people. Bill Gates talked about this recently. He thinks like the next virus is going to like kill millions and millions of people. I think upwards of like 30 million people. Could be a lot worse than that. But yeah, just because we're living in the modern day and age, don't think you're all safe from viruses. The next plague is coming, people. You heard it here. You heard it here. The next thing you want to be doing, actually these are probably the most, one at a time here. One at a time, I'm getting ahead of myself. MSM. What this does is it helps your body create glutathione. MSM is involved in that process, but even more powerful than MSM for increasing glutathione is NAC, but both of these help do it. NAC is the most powerful thing for increasing glutathione. It's powerful for your immune system. So you want to be, if all the things I'm mentioning here, if you only could get one thing, I would get NAC. Okay, it's just perhaps the most powerful of all this stuff. Could literally save your life. So it says right there on the bottle, immunity. Just remember NAC for immunity. And you want to be taking larger doses of this stuff. If you start to think you might have a virus, or if let's say a viral pandemic happens and you go out there and you're mingling with people, which you shouldn't be if there's a virus going around, but let's say you had to mingle with someone or you were exposed, you immediately want to be taking tons of this stuff. Like at least like 8 capsules a day divided into like 2 or 3 servings. And that could save your life. Literally, it's powerful. So what it does is it helps your liver produce glutathione. Just remember that.
Today I'm revealing the most powerful antioxidant that you have never heard of. And it's one of the keys to fighting off the diseases that you fear the most. It is called glutathione.
The next thing you want to be doing, an immune system video would be incomplete if I didn't mention a vitamin C source. What's this? This is rose hips. It's just any vitamin C source would work. I like rose hips because it's cheap and you can get it in bulk. And here I have a big jar of it. This wasn't even very expensive, believe it or not. This amount, it's like rose hips is really cheap. That's the great advantage of it. But it is a vitamin C source. You don't want to be deficient in vitamin C if there's a virus. The next thing is, why am I holding a pineapple? It's because bromelain. There's an enzyme in pineapple that is a proteolytic enzyme that helps dissolve the biofilms. These viruses and bacteria create biofilms. So the proteolytic enzymes, bromelain mainly is the one you're going to find in pineapple, helps destroy the biofilms. So we hear a lot for people who are chronically infected with viruses. The viruses root deep into their system. They say proteolytic enzymes is very important to dissolve the biofilms and actually kill the virus because the virus is being protected by the biofilm. But this could also be an equally as important strategy in the short term. Let's say you're just infected with the virus. Maybe it hasn't had time to root deep into the system. Doesn't mean it's not advantageous to consume some bromelain. You can also get this bromelain as a powder, which would be good because pineapple's high in sugar. Another thing to mention is if you do suspect you're coming down with a virus or bacteria infection, you don't want to be eating a lot of sugar. You want to be eating as low carbohydrate as possible because carbohydrates feed viruses and bacteria. That means if there's a virus going around, not a good idea to eat like entire, lots of sugary fruits like pineapple. It is sugary, so that's a disadvantage. But you can get bromelain powder, which doesn't have the sugar. All right, the next thing is, almost covered it all. The next thing is, speaking of the bubonic plague, we heard in the time of the bubonic plague there was the 3 thieves. these thieves that would cover their mouths with like a vinegar solution. I think it was like vinegar, and it was the vinegar. Herbs were soaking in the vinegar. They soaked garlic and onion, and they would drink it, and they survived the bubonic plague by soaking like garlic and onions and stuff in vinegar. Ginger would be another good thing to add to the mix, but basically you can get a bunch of garlic and just start soaking it in vinegar, and it's a way to preserve it. Garlic is extremely powerful against viruses, so it has that allicin component that kills the viruses and stuff. But I didn't add, there's other things you can do, add the ginger, onions, things like that is another thing you can do to add, make it more powerful. All right, essential oils. Okay, I forgot to mention, if you want a really powerful thing against the viruses, you would do garlic essential oil, which a lot of people are doing to kill like their Lyme disease and everything like that. So that's another thing to consider. Essential oils in general are very, very powerful against viruses. But garlic oil perhaps is the most powerful of all of them. All right, almost done. Trying to hurry this up here. This is my own homemade raw kefir from raw cow's milk. And what this is good for is enhancing all the bacteria in your colon. You want to have a strong, intestinal health and all those beneficial bacteria if there's a virus. So it could help your chances of survival just by having a lot of kefir on hand all the time in your refrigerator. If there's ever a virus, start getting heavy doses of the raw kefir in your body, because all those probiotics are going to help fight the virus. This is why I'm taking a lot of antibiotics is not good, because you can really kill the beneficial, microbiome in your intestines, which could lead you extra vulnerable to catching a virus in the first places, having not the right balance of intestinal bacteria. So the kefir is going to help your intestinal health, and also the gut health is a huge part of your immune system defense. Okay, so if you have all those bacteria in your colon, that's going to help. That's like a huge defense against the viruses. Lastly, the last thing here is the heavy duty stuff, and that is the ozone. This is my own ozonator that I got for like $40 or $50. And ozone is extremely powerful at killing viruses. Now, I recommend to do ozone, like ozonated water. I don't recommend really breathing it, because that could damage your lungs. But ozonated water, if there's a virus, can help destroy the virus in your body. It gets in the bloodstream. But a better way, the most powerful way to get ozone in your bloodstream, and I'll do a whole video on ozone and the best ways to take it. But in an emergency, you really want to be doing ozone rectally through your colon, okay, because that gets it in the body, in the bloodstream, way more than if you're even drinking it. Rectally is the best. So an ozone enema would be very powerful if you had a virus. And I'll do another video just breaking that down and how to do that and the details of that. All right, there is one more thing I wanted to mention, and that is silver. I don't have my nebulizer here, but in another video, I'll link it below, I talk about how to nebulize silver. This is something you want to do if there's ever a viral pandemic, next bubonic plague going around. You want to be nebulizing silver. I made a video about it. It'll be in the description. Go click on it. It's basically you're taking this silver solution and you're taking it through the lungs, because silver doesn't damage the lungs. Ozone damages the lungs, so you don't want to be taking ozone through the lungs. Silver is very beneficial for your lungs, and it gets another route to get into your bloodstream. The silver gets into your lungs and it gets into the bloodstream, and it will help kill those viruses, tremendously. So if there's a virus, some of the viruses could be through the air, right? Someone coughs on you or something, gets in your lungs. If you do nebulized silver right away, could really kill the virus before it roots in your system. And that's the name of the game. With these viruses, you want to be attacking them with everything right away before they root themselves and get deep into your system where you can't kill them anymore. All right, there you go, people. All right, now, so I mentioned a lot of stuff you could be taking to kill viruses if you're ever exposed to a virus, but equally as important as all of this is what you're doing right now on a daily basis just to keep your immune system high. So with what you're feeding your body, nutrition, just everyday nutrition, your diet, eating those high nutrient dense foods, lots of healthy fats, healthy proteins, everything, and avoiding the toxins in the processed foods and the junk garbage food. That's not going to help your immune system. So equally as important as everything here and all these like supplements and herbs you could be taking, you want to just be thinking about every day you're feeding your immune system with nutrients, because that's what your immune system has to work with. It can only work with whatever nutrients you're giving your body. Just think about that. There you go, people. You've been warned. You've been warned. So the virus is coming, and yeah, that's it. May you live forever. Take precautions. Be prepared for anything, okay? Be a survivalist. Have the mindset of a survivalist. You have to prepare for the worst case scenario. And a worst case scenario, any day the virus could come, people, and you've been warned. Most people that are going to watch this video are not going to take this advice seriously, but I hope if you're out there, if you're one of the smart people, you would take this seriously, and you would seriously develop your strategy to make sure you don't die of a virus, because that's like literally, this has happened before many times. Okay, in nature you see these viruses, they come up every so often and just kill tons and tons of people, millions upon millions of people. Remember the bubonic plague. It's gonna happen again. Mark my words. That's it. And may you live forever.